All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. Going to take a look at its, high intent Google searches that boudoir buyers are searching. See if it has BSS and see if we're meeting the GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page one Google slots. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which means full spectrum intent to capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, whatever, main video, wherever you're at. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We got our full, intent spectrum here. High intent peeps over on the left, lowest intent peeps over on the right. For boudoir photography business is rising, most likely we're pulling in people from the entire intent spectrum. And if our boudoir photography business is falling, we're missing chunks of people across somewhere on the intent spectrum. So here we're talking about BSS, the highest intent peeps. These people search for boudoir photo shoots right now on all the different form for big social media sites. So social search and Google search. And over way on the right, that is our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We talk about BLCS. We currently only work with the boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. And so Facebook ads has the lowest intent peeps, interruption ads, Facebook, Instagram, which is going to be actually the largest volume of people that exist in a city. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. So when a boudoir photographer, say there's 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots on page 1 of Google, so we're on page 2 or deeper, effectively invisible, because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So approximately 80% of the market, so the bulk of the market ain't never going to see if we're on page 2 or deeper. And we actually want to, even if we got 1 slot, that's still not good enough. That's still boudoir search sameness because we look the same as everyone else. Everyone else can have 1 slot as well. So what's a buyer going to do? They're just going to, right click, open everyone's website, open a new tab, everyone down page 1. Probably won't even go to page 2, which is approximately 80% of searchers never do. So we're going to assume that they don't even go to page 2. They're just going to contact every boudoir photographer on page 1 near them and get price quotes and call it a day, and then kind of pick the best out of all those. So as a result, boudoir search sameness, no bueno. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's extremely common. It's not normal to have that few number of slots page 1 of Google. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one everyone knows about, nearly everyone knows about, market saturation. Second one, nearly nobody knows about, which is the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's someone gets a new iPhone and they throw up their Google My Business profile and their website saying they now for boudoir, or they're now boudoir photographer. And get new gear like a camera, then they're posting the mom Facebook groups saying they now for boudoir photo shoots. So market saturation, more boudoir photographers for the same number of buyers, increases in the supply side, makes it harder for each seller to, make a sale. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality. Okay, this is, from what I've seen, is the number 1 killer boudoir photography businesses, where originally people accepted page 1 equality as normal. Like, it's normal for every boudoir photographer to have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And yeah, I was ranked, my website was ranked on page 1, but, someone else came in, their website got ranked above mine. I got pushed off to page 2, but, that's simply how it is. I simply got to accept it. There's nothing I can do. It's just part of the game. When actually this is 100% false. This is a 100% false belief, because what I have learned is Google will actually give as many slots on page 1 to those who want to put in the effort to acquire those slots. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 Google search in only 10 days. So I know this is true. I've done it. And so this false belief of page 1 equality, it's like a mental cage. People don't even look for a solution. They don't even try to figure something out because they don't even know it's possible. But in 2 pictures here, we'll see that it actually is possible, or 4 or 5 pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. And that's because, if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're on page 2. Approximately 80% of searches never even going to find us. So yes, we're disappearing. Even if we got 1 slot on page 1, not good enough. We look the same as everyone else. Can we price shop compared to everyone else? And a buyer's just going to click and open everyone's website on page 1 and price shop everyone. So we got to get more slots on page 1 to kick out. And also, so we got more slots on page 1. We're also kicking out our competitors. So actually, we get price shopped against fewer peeps. And this pyramid boudoir photographer, it's like the canary in a coal mine. If we got BSS or disappearing boudoir photographer, we are, pretty. That means the business is on the path to disappearing as well. So luckily, we now have a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, our SQt methodology, and it works exactly like it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent keywords, kind of like, the small rivers flowing down the backside of the Andes Mountains. And once we do that, saturate, that flows into the Amazon River, which is Google page 1 search. That's the end result of doing SQt methodology correctly. And again, yes, I have done this for myself. Now, the magical thing about SQt methodology is it's the only thing I've seen for boudoir photographers that is able to successfully get rid of, fight against and actually overcome market saturation. So why is that? Let's say we're in DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Or let's say we're in DC. And there's 1 million boudoir photographers in DC. They all got a website saying they do boudoir photography. Same as us, we're one of them. Everyone's fighting to be ranked page 1 on Google. But let's say we crank up SQt methodology to the max. So we crank up SQt methodology to the max, and we take the first 300 slots across all, on social search. It's all us. And as a result, or the first 300 searches on Google for also the highest intent buyer keywords, those who want a boudoir photo shoot in their city. And as a result, literally the first 30 pages, organic search results on Google, is us. Because it's 10, it's literally 10 organic slots per page. So we take the first 30 pages up with our 300 slots that we've captured. And our competitors, nobody can find them on organic results until the organic search results till page 31. So when buyers search anywhere, social or Google, we're basically the only one that they find. I mean, they probably ain't going to page 31 on Google. So as a result, whose business is growing? Ours. Even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers in our city. And why is that? Because buyers can't, it's hard for them to even find anyone else because we've saturated search everywhere so strongly across social and Google. So again, this is the only solution I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully outcompete market saturation. So that has momentum. Sure, ads, they give me one more slot on Google for PPC, but their momentum goes down to 0 once you stop spending for them. SQt methodology, it maintains momentum. It has momentum, not infinite momentum, but it has way more momentum than an ad that instantly drops to 0 momentum once you stop spending for it. Now, once treated with SQt methodology, we have page 1 visibility. A bonus side effect of this is for every new slot we occupy on page 1, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. They're page 1 only searches. Yeah, we're making them invisible to approximately 4/5 of the marketplace. And obviously, that means we're going to be price shopped against fewer boudoir photographers. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. We have the GBC recommended minimum. We want to hit 3 out of 10 slots on page 1. I feel like that's kind of the first maximum point that we reach, where if every other boudoir photographer has 1 and we got 3, and subconsciously buyers going to be thinking, man, why is Google pushing this person 3 times, everyone else only one. I'm gonna, I'll click all three on this one person. And in the very rare chance someone else has two, well, we'll be, you know, out competing them as well because we got three. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality, which everyone used to accept as normal, but more and more people are not accepting as normal anymore. We now have the solution, luckily, finally, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, next up, my results using S cubed methodology for myself. So I wanted to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one on Google. So let's go down to the organic slots. So organic slot page one, or organic slot one, IG, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. Slot 10, me. So I did this in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page one on Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page one on Google. And I exclusively used S-cubed methodology to achieve this. So these are the results I've gotten. Now into the main event here. Going to see this boudoir photography business, see how the search is looking for the local and city search. Actually, they're both in this case. See if we got BSS, yes or no. See if we're in the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots paid on Google, or let's hit it, Bellingham, Washington. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. All right, so we do got one. Boom, we got one. All right, we got one. So we got 1 out of 10. And city's always the hardest one to rank for. So we got 1 out of 10, that's good. But we got BSS, we got boudoir search sameness. We also got, we're not hitting the GBC recommended amount of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you're seeing, for at least one of those searches you got BSS, or for at least one you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google search. And you've broken through the mental barrier. You've accepted that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. And you're seeing, wow, S-cube methodology is actually exactly what you've been waiting for. And it's exactly the solution you want in order to, get all these slots page one, increase chances of bringing in new clients. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots page one, and you really like kicking the other boudoir photographers off page one, making them essentially invisible, making their business start going down the path to disappearing. And you're also looking ahead, and you're understanding, wow, AI is taking a lot of people's jobs right now. Last time that happened was COVID. Ton of new boudoir photographers came into the market because everyone's got a phone, a superpowered smartphone, a superpowered camera, and everyone still needs to earn money. And so you're seeing all that, and you actually are realizing, man, it's not about, getting the links on there is cool. Yeah, kicking people off cool, but you realize then you actually got to fortify your position on page one for all the new boudoir photographers that are going to be entering the market, not only from the gear, but the largest percentage will be AI taking people's jobs, and people still need to earn money. So you realize, man, you actually got to super fortify your position page one, like fortifying those levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because the city is below sea level. So like, man, I gotta have page one links, backups to my page one links on page two, backups to those links on page three. I like have so many links and backup links that like basically nobody else, no other current competitor can rank page one, and no other future competitor can rank page one after AI takes their job and then they decide to become a boudoir photographer. And you're seeing that S-cubed methodology is actually the only solution that you can see that enables that. You're also looking ahead to the future benefits that you like for the SQ methodology, where you understand we're building these invisible thematic keyword columns kind of plugged into your brand, plugged into your name, business name, website name, social handles, kind of in the backend in cyberspace, taking up backend AI keyword mindshare. And you understand that every new day we successfully execute SQ methodology, that we are increasing the probability we show up here in the AI overview. The most premium placement, we cannot pay for this. This is organic only, and it is the #1 most premium placement. So increase the probability of getting here every single day, and increase the probability of being ranked on AI search every single day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology. And when we do that, that's ChatGPT, that's Claude, that's Perplexity, that is Microsoft Copilot, that is Google Gemini. Higher chance we get ranked AI search, which is literally growing every single day, getting bigger every single day. I remember the last time I did ChatGPT AI search for boudoir photographers in a city. It brought up 3, and I went to manually look at that city, Google and Facebook, manual search, standard search, and dude, there was like 60 boudoir photographers in that city. So it's like, dude, we gotta get these slots at least one of these slots any way possible. And you're seeing that SQ methodology is really the only solution out there that builds up these invisible thematic keyword columns, that builds up backend AI keyword mindshare. It's invisible, but it's building up every day. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you realize you can get all these benefits and prevent all your competitors from getting any of these benefits and kick them off page 1 down to page 2 and deeper, and build up this massive, keyword momentum, the back-end AI brain momentum with these keywords, and put a massive gap between you and your competitors. And you decide to be a first mover. You're like, man, I cannot pass this up, because you understand the converse scenario where one of your competing boudoir photographers in your city actually signs on with me, and us working together, we actually kick you off page 1, and you actually go way, you're on page 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, like way deeper, and we're forward to getting all these links ranked, so that you basically have no chance to ever rank on page 1 again. And we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns in the backend in cyberspace attached to their brand, building up backend AI keyword mindshare, increasing the probability your competitor ranks in the AI overview, kicking you out of there, and increase the probability they're shown in AI search, building their brand approximately 8x as fast as normal processes. And in order to compete, you would have to actually go and rederive S-cube methodology, or derive it the first time. And when you do that, you would never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. But once you do that, you then have to go and execute it every single day, same as us. And if you do those 2 things, well, guess what? You're simply maintaining the gap me and your competitor had already built up ahead of you. And so then you realize, okay, you got to actually execute us like 2 or 3x every single day in order to start pulling that AI keyword mindshare in the back end away from your competitor's brand and back towards your brand. But still, again, you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place. So super hard to even put in that effort. And then if you do put in the effort, dude, it's like 80 hours per day. I mean, who has that time? So after all that, you realize, and screw that, I have decided to be first mover in my city. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. And our DMs are currently closed. Hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when we do open our DMs again, when the hospital does open for new patient intake, then shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S-cubed methodology.